Welcome to Surviving as a Civilian. I am Scott, here with my friend Andrew. Hello, Andrew. How are you?
I'm doing well, Scott. How are you?
I'm very good. I'm excited to talk about this last week's episode. It was Steph Franklyn. He happened to be, I know you guys heard it through the episode, but he happened to be one of my guys in my platoon for a deployment. Great story. I loved it. It was pretty unique in the fact that he went from National Guard back to active and stuff. But Andrew, in your opinion, what did you like the most about the interview?
I like the story about how he actually went active, where he got in a fight and then his punishment was jail or army. So
Yeah, I
that was
didn't
pretty
really think
cool.
that they did that anymore. I mean, because that wasn't that long ago. I know they used to do it kind of back in, like, I guess the Vietnam era and a little bit past, but for him to get the option to go active or go to jail, that was unique.
Yeah, I think it was because he was um, already in the National Guard. So yeah, I thought they stopped doing that too. So I guess it all depends on what the DA wants to do.
Yeah, that must have been an old school judge to accept something like that as a punishment. Not a punishment, but in all honesty, that decision made for Franklin at that point probably was one of the best that the judge or DA made for him. You know what I mean, Andrew?
Yes, I do.
So what else did you like about it?
Uh, I like that he extended his contract to deploy. So he didn't have to deploy and he chose to deploy with his guys. And it takes a lot of balls to already gone through a deployment and then actually choose to go back for another one.
I have a lot of respect for your generation. The people I talked to, the McKinneys and the you and the Charlies that really, and I've said this before, that joined the Army during a time of two wars going on. And then for him to do that, it's a lot of respect. A lot of respect for him to extend to do that. Knowing where we were going, knowing what could possibly happen, knowing that spot we were going to on that deployment was one of the worst spots in all of Afghanistan. So a lot of respect.
Yeah, I that's why I wanted to hit that point again. That takes a good person to do that. So
So what do you think makes his interview or his story unique over all the rest of them?
I think it's just his whole overall career in the Army, how he was like National Guard and then active and National Guard. He served his whole 8-year contract pretty much.
Correct. Yep. I agree. I agree. Do you think that his story helps people in a different way?
Yeah, I think one way it helps is what like one thing that you already said about the jailer army that that was probably at the time it was probably a bad decision to fight that kid, but who knows where he would be now if he didn't go active duty.
Right.
So
Yep. And I feel like you know what, maybe it's kind of a common bond between all of us, because I know this is not my interview, but I was in jail, literally in jail when I made the decision to join the Army. And I know you had some kind of decision points in your life that kind of push you toward joining the Army also.
yeah, not jail though.
I know.
But um, I actually he reminded me of a story, or not really a story, but after he got blown up and he was talking about the how the eye pro uh he still got dust in his eyes, but he was like, man, if I didn't have that eye pro, it would have been so much worse. That reminded me of a few weeks ago. I was watching Black Hawk Down, and none of the guys have eye pro in the movie. And like even the actors, when there's like fake explosions and stuff, you can just see them wiping their eyes all the time. It's pretty funny.
Um, so he talked a little about after he got hit. He still, it's one of the things that stood out to me is how he continued to do his job after he got hit.
Yeah, that well I like anyone who's been on the ground when someone steps on an IED, you get like this sinking feeling in your stomach and you just want to freeze and like you don't want to take another step, you know? So for him to be the one who actually got blown up to pick up that mine detector and still go on uncleared land, you know, and clear the way. That takes a lot of balls to do that. So.
Right. Something kicked in, and you know, I don't know if it's just repetitions or you're so tired of being in the country where something kicks in and you know you have to continue to do what you have to do as long as you can.
Well, also, like, a lot of it too is like, after getting blown up, he's like, I don't want to get blown up again. And I'm probably the most skilled person with this metal detector here. So it should be me who clears for the LZ, you know? So I thought that took a lot of guts and a lot of courage of him.
Right. Very brave guy. What do you think you personally learned from this interview?
I learned that other people have dreams like I have. I haven't really heard many people talk about that, how he had that dream where he saw colors.
Mm-hmm.
And I have dreams like that all the time where I'll see Ari or I'll see Merlin, and it never takes time in this place, but it takes time like we were deployed. Like, we'll be sitting at the chow hall, you know, and then I'll be like, wait a minute, you're dead. And then I just wake up, you know, like we'll be smoking and joking, having fun. And then like all of a sudden it clicks and I remember. And then I'm like, I say to him, you're dead. And then I just wake up, and it's like a little unnerving to see these people, and like, you're so relieved that you see them, and then like reality sets in and it's like, shit. So I deal with that same thing that he was talking about too. And I'm sure a lot of past soldiers deal with that a lot too.
Yeah. Do you still deal with that now?
Yeah. Every once in a while I will still have a dream where that same thing happens, or like, yeah, I still have dreams where I'll be sitting there bullshitting with them, and then you wake up and you're like, shit, that's just a dream.
Yeah. I don't think that ever goes away. One of the things that I've recognized with Franklyn's interview is one of the kind of themes that's been going on for a few of these now is like the ability to get past this stuff or get out of the military. A lot of it rests on having a good support system, something set up to prepare you. And you'll hear in the next two interviews too that those guys say the same thing. So it's kind of a ongoing theme that I guess support's a key element to getting out. Did you have much support when you got out?
Yeah, I came back to Buffalo and I was just around family, and then I actually took a road trip around the country. I hit like 22 states in 17 days or something. And I went to visit Franklyn. I went to visit Merlin. I went to visit Shane. And I just like drove around and just visited all the other guys that got out for like a day or two. And that was a lot of fun. And it was good seeing them again after, you know, and, but Franklyn, when he brings up like a support system, he uses the word networking. And I think that has to do with him being a master's in business, because in business school, they just nail networking into your head. It's like network. And it's like, don't burn bridges. And the more people you know, the more, you never know when someone's going to think of you and be like, oh, open a good opportunity for you. Like, oh, this would be perfect for Scott. I should call him, you know? So, or you never know when you'll need a favor. The more people you know when you need a favor, the more likely you are to get someone to give you a favor. But yeah, I think he meant a support system too for like the military side, but success in business is all networking. So, because remember he said he wrote that paper on venture capitalisms, and like when you get so big, you need a really strong network, and it crosses over to this too, a good support system. Like when he got out, he went to his house, and his house is awesome. There's like goats in the yard, his parents' house. So I'm sure he had a good support system there.
One of the things that I talked to him about afterwards, I was trying to get him on the interview. If you go back and listen to it, you'll kind of hear me trying to probe for it, but we didn't talk about it prior to. when he got out, and I'm not gonna give too much of the details, but when he got out, he went and became a stripper for a while, a male stripper for a while. And
oh no, he was a go-go dancer.
Oh,
yeah.
Is there a difference?
I don't think he got naked, but he just wore a little underwear and danced around.
Well, don't give up too much, because we might invite him back for season 2 and tell us that story. But we got done with the interview, and I was like, "Hey man, how come you didn't tell me about becoming a stripper?" He goes, "Oh, I totally forgot." In my head, I'm thinking, how do you forget about something like that? Like, I was that slip your mind talking about your transition out to now. But oh well,
yeah.
God bless him, right?
Yeah, he's doing great now. He was part of the reason why I went to business school myself, because I talked to him about his time he spent through business school and opportunities and what you can do with a business degree. So he even helped me choose what I went to school for. So that's pretty cool. Another cool thing about him is his middle name is Reggae.
I think I knew that.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
Well, that's all I got for the review of his. Next week, we have probably, in my opinion, the most graphic and meaning story that you can hear. We have Will Mckinney next week. Will McKinney's episode is airing 3 April 2020. Thank you, Andrew, for joining me. Have a great day.
See you later, Scott.
Before I go, on behalf of Andrew and I, we would like to thank all the veterans we talked to for taking the time to share their stories with us. We created this podcast to show not just the military, but everyone, that you can make it through some of the toughest times in your life and come out on the other side on top. Here at Surviving as a Civilian, we cannot stress enough the importance of getting help if you need it, or giving help if you can. Sometimes it could be as simple as making a phone call or answering that phone in the middle of the night from someone you haven't heard from in a while. If you or someone you know is struggling, help is available at the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255, or text the word HOME to 741-741. If you think your story can help someone out and you want to share it with us, please email us at survivingasacivilian.casting@gmail.com. Subscribe and rate this podcast on iTunes, Spotify, or anywhere else you get your podcast. Like and follow Surviving as a Civilian on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Until next time, get help if you need it, or give help if you can.